Welcome to A Life Unpacked. So this week is, it's already Tuesday today. If you remember from my last vlog, there was a really bad snowstorm in New York, and Sunday kind of wiped me out for the rest of the day. I had to shovel. Our snowblower is broken, and I don't want to buy another one. Going to save that expense. Instead, we're going to repair it in the spring. But in the meantime, I need to shovel in order to clear the driveway. Now, that shoveling was intense on Sunday, so I was pretty worn out. So yesterday, Monday, I was still recovering from that day. My legs were so sore. My back was so sore. I was kind of being cautious because of that back pull a few weeks ago. So I actually texted the neighbor kid. He came over. He did my driveway yesterday for me. So that was good, and I didn't have to try hurting my back or anything like that. I was able to get out to my in-laws' house yesterday, snow blow his driveway. I came home, I had dishes to do, I had laundry to do, I had all the catching up from the weekend. So I never ended up picking up the camera, which is fine. We're gonna refocus on everything now that we've recovered a little bit. Weight loss wise, I have been seeing 258. Finally, a different number than 262. I've been seeing 258 for 2 days in a row. This morning when I weighed myself, it was right after breakfast, it was 259. Typically by lunchtime, that will usually lower for me. I do weigh myself multiple times a day, and I also weigh myself pretty much every day. Now, I know this is a controversial thing. A lot of people say, don't do that, don't do that. I understand there's fluctuation, and I know what that fluctuation is. I tend to notice that, around lunchtime is when I weigh the least. Towards the end of the night, I weigh more. That all has to do with the gravitational pull on the earth from the moon. So your weight is going to fluctuate. I try to weigh myself at the same time every day in order to understand that. Typically, I don't weigh myself in the morning. I did today because I took a shower this morning. You can probably see my hair is still kind of wet from that. So I actually I may or may not weigh myself again at noon, but more than likely it'll be 258. So I seem to be staying right about there, which is great. So I have taken a little bit of a break from the gym because my back and then the snow and all that, but I'm ready to get back at it. I'm not 100% confident I should go today. I do still feel my legs are quite tired, but I'm going to go. I'll just lower the weights, or I won't use any weight. I'll just use body weight. I need to get back into the routine. So body pump is tonight. I'll definitely be doing that. Now, let me get my journal here and we'll take a look at what else we have planned for this week. Yeah, okay, so I've got some cleaning stuff that I would like to get to this week. Maybe we'll get that filmed. There's not a lot going on. In my calendar, for some reason, I messed up the 2 weeks. So I actually put the wrong week on the wrong day, whatever, it's fine. But now my plans are a little bit off. Anyhow, we've got a girls' night this week as per usual. It's just all kind of the usual stuff. Plain, boring week, hopefully. But I'm gonna keep picking up the camera. I'm gonna keep doing this, even if it's repetitive and we're doing the same things every week. It's okay. That's what life is. That's what normal life is. It's sitting here. It's going to work 9 to 5. It's doing the dishes and dinner at night, going to the gym, taking the dogs out, reading. That's all that stuff. I'm so happy my bookshelf looks great. This is actually the one I replaced, the one that's got 5 in the middle. I moved it over here because it's got 5 and these 2 have 4, so whatever. So I'm glad I finally got that fixed and organized. And what's great is I also actually have like a lot of extra room down here for other books, so I can add to my collection, even though I really shouldn't. I gotta read these. I have to, I should count them. I really should count them and see how much physical TPR I have here that really needs to get taken care of. I have 10 minutes right now before meeting. Let me do that. Hang on. Not as bad as I thought. There is 303 unread books on this shelf, and there might be a few more in the house. I could think off the top of my head of at least one that's in my bedroom that I haven't started. But I'm sure I've got books littered throughout the house somewhere that haven't been touched. I thought it was higher than that, considering I have a lot of boxes of books that need to go to the library, that are books that I do not want. I have no interest in reading. They were acquired in various ways, some book boxes, some were given to me. I mean, I'm getting rid of those. I do need to take those to the library though, real bad. Maybe I'll try to do that this week. I say that every week. I literally never get to it. I'm going to do it this week. At least a box. I'm not saying I need to bring them all, just one box at a time. I will drop off a box on Saturday or Sunday when I go to the gym. Probably Saturday because I know they'll be open on Saturday. Anyhow, let's get this week started. And for starters, I definitely need to get some water. I have a little bit left in my cup here, very, very little. So I need to refill, and we gotta work. And then hopefully we'll get around to a little bit of cleaning tonight. Let's get started. Does Asher want to do any cleaning? Does Asher want to clean the things? Oh, yeah. What are you doing? Oh, you're gonna give me the belly? This is my boy. I can tell you, I've been reading like a maniac That's like the only thing I seem to be capable of doing. I finished People We Meet on Vacation yesterday. I read almost 200 pages yesterday. I started The Boyfriend today, and I'm already 82 pages in. So it's, this is going really fast. This is really good so far. I love Frida McFadden's writing. So I'm going to keep plugging away at this, and I will update you later on it. Okay, these are the spaces I'm going to try to clean up. Laundry room, kitchen. This is the before. Dining room's before. And the offices before. The office is going to be my main focus. I have stacks of paperwork that I said I need to get done with over here. I did get this cleaned. Actually, this is the next day, but I did. I cleaned all this up. I got the hook put back up here. So this hook on the end here had fallen off completely. So I put that back on there, and then I cleaned all of this up. Oh my goodness. I cleaned all of this up down here. We're doing some laundry today. I wiped down the machines, so those are nice and clean. Then let's see here. The kitchen got a little bit cleaned. I did the kick plates underneath here, and I cleaned obviously the counters. I need to clean the stove. I think I'll clean the stove today. So I need to do like the front of it and maybe the inside. Like I said, I should do the inside, but I need to like put the whole like off oven spray in there and see if I can figure out how to like clean between the glass. So I'm gonna maybe work on that a little bit here now, and then I want to do the hood. You can see the hood's pretty dusty up there because like who gets up there on a regular basis to clean the hood? Anyway, let's see here. We did this entry hallway, got done yesterday, so that's all nice and cleaned up. You can't see it too well in here, but this is a little bit better. I cleaned the paperwork that I had over here. That was all needed to be shredded, so I spent like the whole evening shredding paperwork. So the office is still not great, but it's looking a lot better. I need to find a better way to store this stuff over here, and maybe clean off some books on this level here. So I think what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna do this the range right now because I got a little bit of time, and then I'm probably going to do a little bit of reading. Tonight we're going over to Jeff's dad's house to have some dinner with Chris and Tracy, so we're going to be doing that in a little while. Jeff's working, if you can hear him laughing. I'm not sure how good this mic is at like filtering out background noises, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's my plan for now, is to take care of this. I'll probably prop you up and let's clean it together. So I've got my stool here. I like to use this when I do tall things because I'm a short person. So we've got our stool. I need to get some towels. Got some towels, and I like to use this Dawn dish soap power wash spray stuff. I know it says it's dish spray, but I use it on a lot of surfaces because it's a degreaser.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you, what things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? slow. Work things out so you don't let me go. When I come real close, I don't wanna get hurt, 'cause I'm not ready to give you my heart yet. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? Will you let me down? Before I'm too invested.
So, me and Earth. Hi, Earth. How are you? Do you want to be interviewed? How was your day? And did you have a lot of treats? Oh, okay. And are you a good girl? Are you a good girl today? No, she says no, she's not a good girl today. So anyway, this has been 20 minutes with Aerith. So books. I want to talk about my reads this week. I've been reading like a monster this week. I don't know what is my deal, but I finished. We'll put the books over here a little smaller so we can keep Aerith in shot. But we were People We Meet on Vacation. I finished that book. I don't remember which day it was. Maybe it was like Monday or Tuesday. Good, cute little book. I gave it, what did I give it? 4 stars, I think. Cute little rom-com. It had like one really spicy scene, and then it was kind of like closed doors from then on out. But it was cute. I like the idea of like, if you go on vacation, you are a different person, and I love that idea and concept. This was kind of also a good book that was like, normally you've got like a, the romance happens, you have that third scene breakup that always happens in a romance, and they figure it out and get back together. This was kind of like post third scene. So they had been friends, something happened in Croatia, and then they were like mending their friendship / bringing it to a romance. So that was a kind of cute. It still had a little bit of a third scene breakup in the third scene of the actual book, but cute little book. I enjoyed it a lot. Then I went on to read Frida McFadden's The Boyfriend. I finished that in like a day. I don't understand how she's such a good writer. I could swear I was 100% convinced I had figured out who the killer was by like 65% of this book. I was 100% convinced. I knew it. I was like, I got it. I figured out Frida's algorithm, and I know her algorithm. I figured out her equation, how she does it. I know all of her calculations, and I'm like, I know who it is. I know exactly who it is. I figured out the whole story, who's doing what, who's doing where. 100% wrong. The twist at the end, it came out of left field. The killer wasn't even on my radar at all. It was insane. So, another great one by Frida, 5-star, obviously. So I've had a lot of good 5-star reads in the month of January. So since it's the beginning of February, I wanted to talk through my February TBR. I think going forward, I will, I don't know if I should do like a January wrap up, because like every week I'm updating you on what I'm going through reading wise. So I kind of feel like a January wrap up is a little bit silly. So I'm just gonna like throw the books up on the screen of what I read in January. And you can go back into the other vlogs and kind of see what I rated them and what my thoughts were on them. Or I am on Goodreads, I'll link that down below. And I'm on Fable, so I'll link that also down below, so you can like follow along if you're interested in that type of thing. For January, I can go over at least my stats. So in January, I read a total of 5 books. I rated 3 of those as a 5-star book read. So it was a really strong start to the year for me, which was great. My pages read was 1,679. And I did 3 of those books were physical copies. 1 was an ebook and 1 was an audiobook. Out of the whole month, my favorite book was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. All right, so onto my February TBR. Now it is a little bit into February, it's about a week into February, and I have already completed a book. So this was on my TBR originally. This is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. This was for a Fable book club, and this month, instead of following along like throughout the month with the group, I decided, you know what? Let's just straight read it, so that way I'm not reading like 4 different books at the same time, because last month I did that and it was okay, but I just would rather like do them one at a time, kind of, or at least 2, because I know sometimes I do like an audiobook and then a physical read. So anyway, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie was on my TBR. And then I have on my TBR also, this is A Batter of Life and Death by Ellie Alexander. This is part of the Bake Shop Mysteries series. This is the second book in that series, so I'm not really kind of going to go into this book, but basically the series is about a woman named Jules. She used to work on a cruise ship as a baker, and she's recently decided to move home after going through a little bit of marital problems, and so she's moved home. Her mom owns bakery. Her parents did. Her father's passed. But her mom still owns the bakery, so she's kind of helping out her mom at the bakery, and there's mysteries happening in the town. Specifically in the first 2 books, they've been deaths, so I'm going to assume that they're always going to be a death that she's going to have to like mystery and the whodunit aspect of that. But really cozy, a lot of descriptions of food and baking. I got this series from Olivia Reads a Latte here on YouTube, and yeah, she's been reading through it, and yeah, it's just a cute little cozy mystery series. It's like, it's not quite like thrillery. Yeah, there's like death and intrigue and stuff like that, but it's not the same level of intrigue as like a full-on thriller. It's more like cotton candy thriller. It's really easy to read, really fun and endearing, humorous, stuff like that. The next book that I have to read, which is still ongoing, is Stephen King's The Shining. This is for my other Fable book group book. This is a book club that is called Novel Cinema. So what we do is we read the book for 2 months, and then you can watch the movie. So this is the one that we've been reading for January and February. A little over halfway done with this one. I'll probably be finishing this one fairly quickly now that we're in January too. Again, I'd like to just kind of like get through it and move past it and onto something else. So I've never read The Shining before. This is the first time I've ever even gone through the story. I've never watched the movie or anything like that either. So while it's a very popular book, I do know some concepts of it going into it because it's so popularized on TV. You really can't know spoilers, basically. So I understand the concept of it, but there's a lot of parts of it that I don't know. Like I know like the twins are, I guess they're not twins, they're sisters or whatever. I know that they were killed by the previous caretaker, and they were like, they're very prominent in the movie. You always see the twins at the end of the hallway. Like that's like an iconic scene. But I don't know anything about the twins. Girls, I don't know if they're, I don't even know if they're twins. I feel like they're twins because the movie makes them look like twins, but in the book, I think they're just sisters of different ages. But yeah, so doing good with this. Like I said, almost halfway through. We're well into the horror aspect of this book, and that's moving right along pretty well. Okay, so the other books that I have planning on reading Royal Assassin. Royal Assassin is the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I read, like I said, Assassin's Apprentice in January. It was my favorite book of the month, so I'm ready to move on to the second one. A little bit thicker of a book than the first one. I don't know anything about this series or where it's going to go or what it's about, other than I know it's about Fitz, who has, this ability to, he has some kind of magical abilities. They call it the skill. Yeah, the skill or the wit. Depends on what type of magic he's doing. But the first book is basically about Fitz growing up from like a small boy, like 5 or 6 years old, until probably, it didn't really say his exact age. I think he was like around 16, 17 towards the end. And basically him going from being a bastard where he didn't know anything about his royal bloodlines to being kind of, I wouldn't say accepted, but being brought into the royal house line. And obviously, as the title says, Assassin's Apprentice, He is apprenticing to be an assassin for the royal family. So that's kind of his role, but also he has to learn all the ins and outs of being a royal bloodline and such. So yeah, this book will be continuing on with his story, and I'm interested to see where that goes. And then I have A Bad Deal for the Whole Galaxy. This is the second book of the Scavenger series. This is by Alex White. And this is, the concept of this book is basically like a ragtag group of people that kind of get put on this spaceship. Some of them worked on this ship previously, some of it work on it currently, some of them are kidnapped and put on the ship, some of them are just like landed there on accident. But they're basically like coming together, and obviously there's like a bad guy and they're fighting the bad guy and such like this. So this is the continuation of that story, because in the first book, we didn't conclude the full story, so we're going to see where these guys go. That is a trilogy. My next book, which I have, is the third book of the series, the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. This is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dinneman. I'm currently reading this. I started reading this at the end of January. I'm still reading it. It's an audiobook. I only listen to it when I'm in the car or when I'm cleaning or cooking or something along those lines. So I don't get through it super fast. I'm getting close to the end of this one though. Again, third book in a series. Basic concept of this is Carl and Donut are, well, Carl's a human, Donut's a cat. They are from Earth, and when aliens take over the planet, they basically thrust all the humans, well, they don't thrust them, they give them the choice to go into the dungeon or stay on Earth, and the Earth is completely destroyed. So if you want to live and try to survive on the barren planet, you can, or you can go into this dungeon. So people who chose to go into the dungeon, such as Carl and Donut, are then basically crawling through this dungeon, very RPG style dungeon, and it's broadcasted in entertainment for these aliens. So this is kind of like their adventures through this dungeon, trying to survive, trying to get to the goal, and obviously survive the whole dungeon itself. So that's the concept of the story. I'm not going to go into the details of this book because we're so far in at this point. We're several floors down. If you want context, this is the book that is at the Tangle. So we're dealing with that environment. And then the last book I would like to read, if I have time in the month, is Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is a book, book of the month club book that I've had for a long time. I think 2001 is when I got this book. Yeah, it's copyrighted 2001. So I've had it for quite a while. So one of those books that I want to get off my shelves. Like I said at the beginning of this vlog, I have a lot of unread books. I'm trying to work through that slowly but surely. Here's the next one that I grabbed off of my list. I didn't even pick anything. I just picked whatever was the furthest down the line and grabbed it right off. So I know nothing about this book. Obviously, it's a thriller. Alice Feeney writes thrillers, so that's all about it that I know. It looks like it's some kind of a snowy cabin-like environment, so we'll see what that's about, but I did not read the blurb or anything. So now that we're done with books, let's talk life. That was just my knee popping. Today is Saturday. I'm actually going to be wrapping up the vlog here so I can edit for the week, but I'm dealing mentally with a lot of struggles right now. I have been questioning the vlog. I've been questioning if it's worth it. I originally started vlogging to hold myself accountable for weight loss, and I'm still 262. I started this vlog in September, I want to say, September, October. And I was 262 then. Maybe I was 265. I don't know. It was close, but I haven't moved at all. I don't know if that's just because my focus has shifted from, being all about fitness and food to being more lifestyle vlog. I don't want to say that that's the reason that I'm not losing weight, but I wasn't losing it prior to starting this, so I was struggling at that mark. I'm sure it has a lot to do with, I don't know, I want to say food, but like I've been eating very clean, very healthily. I mean, yes, last night I had tortellinis, but like I should be able to have like one semi-cheap meal. I had a huge salad with it too. So like I should be able to have one of those things a week and not have it be like, oh, well, everything you've done is for nothing. But anyway, I'm in my head a lot about the weight loss. I know my measurements look different. I know I did before and after pictures and you could tell a difference, but the scale number at this point is really bothering me. You know, I wanted to do this long-term life insurance and I need to get down to a certain weight to be able to do that. And I want to be healthier. I want to look and feel better. So I'm in my head a lot about that. I could probably ramble about that like forever. I'm in my head about cleaning the house because I feel like all of my spaces are just like so cluttered still. I mean, look, I've got clutter all over here and my desk space, I don't know if I can turn all the way around, but like, you know, just like clutter. I just have clutter everywhere. And, you know, I've got the Legos up here. These feel like clutter. I'm actually looking to get rid of those somewhat soon. So, you know, I have a lot of things that I want to address, but then usually I'm working out so much. I'm working out like 3 to 4 days a week. I'm exhausted and tired on my rest days. Even on my non-rest days, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to clean. I don't want to vlog. I don't want to do anything. And I really want to get out of that. When I sit down and I think about what my goals are to continue to vlog. I do like having the creativity behind it. I really do. I like seeing the end result. I like seeing the blog. I like seeing the work that I do. When I am creatively vlogging, I do like that part of it. So I need to get more into that and stop. It's like almost like I don't trust myself to do it. I don't know. But I think a big part of that is the fact that I'm planning 2 weeks in advance. So this vlog actually is, you probably didn't even notice, but this is 2 weeks of real life combined into one video. Now I didn't specifically point out like, oh, it's a new week or anything like that because previously I was filming a week and then I would edit that week on not that Saturday, but the following Saturday. So I would film Monday through Sunday and then film the following Saturday afterwards. So I had almost like a week space between when I filmed everything and when I actually edited it. So I felt like I was like losing a little bit of connection, I guess, to the vlog, but also I'm looking 2 weeks in advance. And I find that in the moment, I'm not doing what I want to do because I'm too busy thinking about next week. So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to be starting to plan day by day and I'm shifting the vlogs too. So now I'm going to record Sunday through Saturday. And then on that Saturday, I'm editing that week's vlog. So I'm hoping that will kind of keep me a little bit more present and in the moment to that week. And I won't be looking so far ahead. So today I'm actually editing this clip, for example. And then tomorrow we'll start a brand new week together. I am switching over from my Happy Planner weekly layout to working with a Hobonichi daily planner. So I'll be looking at just that day. I'll plan it that day, that morning. That planner should be coming tomorrow. So hopefully I will be able to sit down and kind of plan out. I mean, I'll half plan out Sunday because like the day may already be half over by the time I get the planner. And if it comes too late, I'll just start on Monday with that. I don't know. You know, I have a lot of anxiety and depression. And I shouldn't say that. I have a lot of anxiety, not so much depression, but I do always feel at a certain point my anxiety gets the better of me and I do start to get depressed. Plus we're also talking February here, so we're talking a little bit of seasonal depression and such. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm skipping my body balance class. I know I just said I haven't lost weight and I don't understand why, and skipping workout class is probably not the best way to fix that type of a thing, but I think it would be best for me to stay here, clean some spaces, prep for next week. I have some meal prep I can work on for next week to kind of set myself up for a good week. I want to just take some time for myself, I think. And try to get out of this headspace. I don't want this anxiety to turn into depression, and I kind of feel like the depression's like right on the edge. You know, it's just kind of nagging in my brain a little bit. And usually when I feel it's kind of happening, the best way to kind of stave it off is just to really focus on cleaning up my spaces. So then that way I'm feeling good and fresh. Work on something that I really enjoy. For example, I may work on like my book review journal, or I may prep a little bit for that Hobonichi by looking up some like layout videos or something along those lines. Maybe I'll do some diamond painting. I don't know. I'll definitely be editing, which is enjoyable to me. So yeah, so I'm gonna go do that stuff, and we'll have a fresh start tomorrow with hopefully a fresh plan, and you know, we'll get through this struggle. I know it's not talked about enough on here when people are feeling a little bit like blah. You know, they always want to portray the happy side of things. They don't necessarily want to show when you are feeling just kind of like, I'm not even saying like full depression, but just kind of like blah, like in just, you know, you're in a funk, you know, you can't get out of it, you know, you're struggling through it, you know, and that's where I'm at right now. So, anyway, thank you for joining me and watching the video, and, yeah, subscribe, take a look in those comments for the Goodreads and Fable, links if you're interested in that, and we'll see you guys next week.